Hello guys, welcome back again to my channel Dami Dimension. My name is Dami. In today's video we are going to be making a bodice pattern for a 3 to 4 year old girl dress. If you're interested in watching this video, keep on watching and remember to subscribe to my channel in case you haven't done so you don't miss awesome tutorials like this on this channel every week. Smash the like button if you like the video, and without further ado, let's get started. Right here I have a fresh pattern paper. I have it folded into two so I can draft the front and the back together at the same time. First, I need to point out that since this is for a child, their waist circumference and the chest circumference, in this case not bust circumference, is in place of the bust circumference for an adult. The chest circumference and the waist circumference are usually the same. So I will start by drafting my shoulder line. Shoulder to shoulder for this dress is going to be 10 inches. So what you should do is measure from one shoulder to the second shoulder, whatever you have, divide it into two and mark it here. In my case, 10 inches divided by 2, I have 5. Okay, so I'm using this edge as my starting line. So from there, I'm taking 5 inches in. Then I will rule an horizontal line that is 5 inches long, and that is going to be my shoulder measurement. The shoulder to the waist measurement for this 3 to 4 year old dress is going to be 7.5 inches. So from this line I will measure 7.5 inches down, mark, and I'm also taking the same 7.5 inches here so I can square up the line so that I can get the straight horizontal line. Alright, so let me just write the annotation so you guys can understand which line is which. So this line is my shoulder line, okay, and this line is the waistline. So let me just put the neck measurement at this point so you guys can kind of see everything come together. I'm using the neck depth of 2.25 and I'm using neck width of 2.5. You can use 2.5 by 2.5, but I kind of want it to be a little bit high up the neck. So then I'm going to connect the neckline to form whatever shape I desire. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is to come down from this point by 0.75. You know, if we are drafting for an adult, we usually come down by 1 inch, but because this is a child, 0.75 is just enough for the shoulder slope. So I came down by 0.75 from this point, and from this point now I'm going to connect back to the neck width. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to take now is the armhole circumference. I'm working with armhole circumference of 11 inches. I will divide 11 inches by 2 and that is going to give me 5.5. So from this point now I will come down by 5.5. Okay, and that is where the chest line is going to be. So I'm going to rule a short horizontal line from this line now, just like that, and of course I will square up this line. The waist I'm using is 21 inches. If I divide 21 inches by 4, you have to divide it by 4. I'm going to get 5.25. So I'll put 5.25. all right, so because the chest measurement of a child and the waist is the same, I'll transfer the same 5.25 that I have here. I'll also transfer it on this line, which is my chest line in this case, just like that. So I have 2 points that I'm going to connect together with a straight line. So next thing, I'm going to add 0.25 of ease allowance. This is optional, you don't have to add it here. And I will connect that. Remember, we've not added seam allowance yet. We are still going to have seam allowance. All right, in order to get the armhole curve, you need to find the midpoint of this line here and here. Okay, so the midpoint is going to be 2.75 here, right? And then from there, 2.75 is here, and from there you should come in by, for a child, for an adult is usually 0.75, but for a child you can use 0.5. Come in by 0.5 and then just curve it. So if I come in by 0.5, the point is going to be here, right? Let me use pencil because that's not what I want to do. I just want to explain to you guys so you know if you are using exactly standard basic bodies for your blouse. So it's going to be here. Then you are going to connect from this point to that new point you just made, and then to here with a curve like this. So that's what you will have
as the curve. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, something like this. That's what you're supposed to have as the basic bodice arm curve. Because I'm making a sleeveless dress, then I am going to not use the standard arm curve for the basic bodice. I'm going to make it a bit more deeper so it can bring out the shape better for a sleeveless bodice. So I will erase this pencil, and just like I said, you should divide this point into two, this line, find the midpoint, and my midpoint is here that I've already done. Let me just show you again. The midpoint of this line is here, right? So from that point, I'm going to come in by 1 inch in this case, because I'm trying to achieve a curve for a sleeveless dress. Okay, so I came in by 1 inch, and all this design is totally dependent on what you want to achieve. It could be less, it could be more if you want it like super deep and crazy, you know, but this is just what I want at this point. Coming by 1 inch. The shoulder was 2.5 before. That's this line. I want it to just be 1.75, so I will take 1.75. That's how much fabric I want to have on my shoulder right here. So I have this point now and this point, and I'll connect it to this point with a curve. So that means that we don't need this line anymore. Okay, but let's just keep it there for reference. All right, so this is it for the front basic bodice. I'm going to go ahead and add seam allowance around it and cut it out, but you can as well just draft your back panel on top of it. Since I have a paper underneath, I'm just going to draft it on it and cut it out. So okay, so I've decided to not have the back that shallow. I want it to be like a V neckline, which is really deep down the back. That's my choice anyways. So for a basic bodice neckline, you can just use like 1 inch and connect from here, take 1 inch down, and from that point connect it to this edge. That's the neckline of the back of a basic bodice. But I want to be a little bit more. I'll add ½ inch seam allowance now all around the front, then I will draft my back separately. For the side, I'm going to add 1 inch seam allowance for the side. For the armhole, ½ inch is okay. Okay, neckline, ½ inch is okay as well. Alright, so this is it for the front. I'll go ahead and cut it out. And because I decided to draft the pattern of the back separately, that's why I'm separating my paper so I can use it for the back. So for the back, I'll bring this back and I'm going to trace it out with a pencil. So I have traced out the front on this plain sheet. I'm not sure if you guys can see, but trust me, you don't really need to see this because it's not necessary. It's the front. We just need it to draft the back. And I'm also going to just add my line so I basically need the line for the shoulder. Yeah, I only need the line, the shoulder line. And the shoulder line is somewhere there. Don't worry if it's not very clear. You don't need this you don't need it that much. Okay, so here is my shoulder line. Hopefully you can see this line was my center front, which was the edge of my paper right here. You see? So then I left some allowance here, which is going to be for the zipper of the back. So I have my shoulder line. Let me make it a little clearer. Yeah, so that is my shoulder line. This is my center back line in this case. So the only modification we need to make is just the neckline and the arm curve. Okay, so I'm coming to this corner and I'm taking whatever neck depth I desire for the back, and I think I'm going to be using 6 inches as the neck depth of the back. I'm using 6 inches as the neck depth of the back. I'll connect the neck width to this point with a straight line because I want a V neckline for the back. And for the armhole, you see the armhole of the front is very deep. Usually the armhole of the back is not as deep as that of the front. So I am simply going to make this, you see this curve right here? I'm simply going to make it shallower, not as deep as that of the front. So from here I'm just going to curve it in back to this point like this. Okay, so then I will use my, now there is a rule to this, but trust me, it's not so necessary. Just make sure it's not as deep as that of the front, just so that it's not very wide. So I'm just going to use my tool to make it smoother. Okay, and that's basically the modification we need to do. But remember, this is the the zipper allowance, so I need 1 inch zipper allowance here. You may not even use up to 1 inch, but just to be safe, let me have 1 inch there. Okay, I'm just trying to bring out the lines now, the lines that I need, because I used pencil at first because I don't need all of the lines from the front pattern. And that's it. So this is what the back is looking like, and all I need to do now is to finish it up by adding my seam allowances. So then I just cut it out and we are done. So this is what I have as the finished bodice for the 3 to 4 year old dress. Please like this video, share and subscribe in case you haven't. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. The next thing I'm going to be doing is to use this pattern to cut out on my fabric as well as stitch the dress together. If you want to see that video, you find the link and watch that video where I made the actual dress. I hope to see you in my next video.